2017. And well, just like I mentioned, we've just told you how the economy has slowed down in the last quarter of 2016. And they're saying this is as a result of a slow growth in key sectors like agriculture. Agriculture happens to be the backbone of Kenya's economy. So that could explain the overall performance of Kenya as an economy in the year 2016. So, as we wind down the year 2016, we'd also like to take a look at how the small and medium enterprises or small and medium businesses have been performing, and also how they would evaluate the year 2016. And now helping us to put this all into perspective is Alice Simba, who is the founder for Black Forest House in Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You know, a lot of small and medium businesses have said 2016 has been a challenging year, but a challenge in a good way. Would you actually attest to the same?
Wow. Yes. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
And yes, business is always full of challenges. And I think that's what excites entrepreneurs. Because without any challenges, then it's not worth the risk.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, we've had challenges, and for me, I'd like to talk especially around the baked confectionery industry. Yeah.
All right, so speaking about baked confectionery industry, you know, a lot is happening in your sector as well. And the competition in this industry is not just minimal, you know, it's all out there.
True.
So if you might take us through, for you starting a business like the Black Forest in Kenya, or Black Forest House in Kenya, what would you say were some of the lessons learned as you started the journey, and how many years has it been now?
Wow, I've been in business for from 2008. I've just learned, if I just summarize what I've learned in a sentence, I would say a good business, or rather businesses, understand best practices, period.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think, do you want me to elaborate that?
Yeah, because you know, when you say best practices and businesses, there's some best practices that you're looking at, especially in your business per se. If you might want to share some of those.
Okay. I'm learning how to build relationships. I'm talking about relationships with suppliers, very key. Your stakeholders, relationship with your suppliers, those people who bring to you your raw materials. Number one, very important. The other thing, relationship with the government, okay? I'm looking at the licenses that are necessary, you understand? Taxes that need to be paid. I'm looking at relationship with your customers. You need to have your ear on the ground, because businesses speak. Customers, when customers come, they're the ones who give you opinions. They might like something, they might not like something. So even if you're introducing a new thing in the market, it should be lined to what your customers would want. By the end of the day, we are depending on them to stay in business.
All right. And so one of the other challenges that small and medium businesses are facing and continue to face, I guess they have been facing this for decades, is access to credit. And most of the time, small businesses or sometimes medium businesses do not have security enough for the banks to be convinced that, you know what, you're actually going to pay back this money. Have you faced the same? And if yes, how have you dealt with it?
Wow, okay, fine. Let me just take you back. Like, I remember when I started my business, I never used to keep my money in the bank. As in, you just, because it started as a passion. It was a small joke, okay? It's a passion, so you go selling your cake, you keep your money, and then you're realizing, oh, so I can make money out of this. Anyway, slowly I started saving my money. Actually, I started with Equity Bank. And what I realized over the time, and what I could tell entrepreneurs today, is that it's very important to build this other relationship with a financial institution, okay? Especially the small banks. They were there ready to listen. And you need to be consistent with your banking. You understand? You know how it is, you do business in a small way. You get your money. When you're asked after a week, how is biashara? You're like, oh, mini jua kali, I'm just trying. But actually what you hold, what comes through you, every day, it counts.
Right.
Even if it's 2,000 shillings, keep it, take it to the bank, then withdraw. Buy your raw materials, produce, take it to the bank. Let the bank know how much you produce. You understand? That way, in say, like, depending with the type of bank, 2-3 months down the line, 6 months, they're able to give you a facility based on your performance.
Your income,
You understand?
Right.
Yeah, and then that's how you see yourself grow. So for me, as an entrepreneur, small business entrepreneur, when I started my business, I realized that that was lacking. So once I discovered the skill, that's it. You just need to be consistent with your banking. Anytime you walk to the bank, you ask them for money, they support you because they know you.
So you said you started your business in 2008. I take it's been 8 years since.
Yes,
and you started small and are now growing big. Would you actually say that you're at a point where you can be categorized as a successful business?
Yes.
All right. What is a successful business from your perspective?
Wow. This is a business, again, let me go back. Demand speaks. When people are demanding more of your product until you become overwhelmed, okay, I count that as success. The customers are demanding. I'm sure if I close shop today, they'll be like, what was that?
All right.
Yeah.
And what do you do to keep your business afloat? You know, because making cake can be something that maybe so many people would say, you know, that's not a unique business.
Thank you.
So what keeps your business afloat?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you, remember we're talking about the baked confectionery industry. My dear, people eat cake all the time, okay? People eat cake all the time, so there is a market for cake. Whether you're watching your weight or not, guys are eating cake. There's always a birthday, there's always a wedding, there's always that urge, impulse, there's dessert. Now, what keeps me afloat is being... I'll still go back, listening to the business and coming up with new ideas, being creative, not copy-paste. It doesn't take us anywhere. Yeah, because we are many of us. So why would you come to Black Forest House and not your shop?
All right, but because I'm trying to look at the kind of competition that you have, because you know, I might come to Black Forest House and ask for you know, your price catalog and look at the different cakes that you're making, and then say, you know, I think I can do this. If I, you know, I can just go and co-create what Black Forest House is doing. But what gives you the distinctive advantage that people keep coming to Black Forest House as opposed to going to somewhere else?
For me, I would say is my recipe. Number one, there are many things, but one, my recipe. I focus on homemade recipes. So it's something you can do in the house, but guess what? You won't do it. Because after this, you're very tired. You want to go and chill out, isn't it? So the recipe, I'm looking at also thinking different around the business, like packaging, you know, those small things, giving good service. That is very, very key. And that keeps me afloat.
All right. And going forward, what are your plans for 2017? You know, in the small businesses, people look to opening branches in different parts or different counties, per se. You are in Nairobi. Are you anywhere else outside of Nairobi?
Yes, we're in Nairobi. In Nairobi, we have 5 branches. And then we are also in Kisumu. We are also in Kitengela. And yes, we are going places. We are looking at Mombasa, wherever demand calls. And I'll tell you, like, being in business, let me give you a simple scenario. Customers call. We've gotten to a level whereby guys are asking, you don't have a branch here. Are you getting? So that's how your business speaks. So those locations, we will be there. We will satisfy our customer.
Interesting. So having a relationship with your suppliers does help, and also demand speaks. Small, medium businesses right there. And do you think 2017 is going to be favorable for you, you know, in terms of taxation?
Okay, here we go. I would advise anybody who's doing a business, before you start that business, you're going to do an analysis. Okay? You will know where you're going to place yourself, which market you're going to serve, who are going to be your clients, and you will also know your key stakeholders, right? But now, once you know that, when I'm having a cake on the table,
should we
that
bring
cake
on the table?
All
right, we can wait. We can wait a little.
But now, that cake contains costs that will cater for all your stakeholders. So it should not be an issue. If you don't do your costing right, then you'll have a problem. You'll not be able to do the tax. You'll not be able to pay city council. You understand? You'll not be able to pay your workers. So that cake, let's do our costings right. Okay? You do your costings right, and everything else will flow. So for me, 2017, Wow. If I thought 2016 was good, 2017 is going to be better.
It's going to be even
yes,
better. Well,
yes.
thank you so much, Alice. Yeah. Alice Simba is the founder for Black Forest House in Kenya. And she has a business of the baked confectionaries. And